everyone, this is Julie with Craft with Julie, and we are going to work on a set of cards using Close to My Heart's Christmas Story collection. And we are using the paper packet, the stickers, some of the coordinating cardstock, and these awesome embellishments from the Christmas Story. No stamping, everything is either a sticker or an embellishment, and so it makes it super easy to put together. So these are the cards we're going to be creating. So there's Happy Holidays, 'Tis the Season, Oh What Fun, just a nice poinsettia card. This one has 25 on it, All is Bright, and Merry Christmas. Okay, so what you'll want to do is to grab your pieces that hopefully you've already cut. I put them in a little baggie so I wouldn't lose any. And grab your embellishments and your stickers. You'll want, set those aside. You will want to have some liquid glue. I'm using the Tombow Mono liquid glue, a black journaling pen. This is the LePen journaling pen, and some adhesive, some 3D foam, scissors, maybe some of these little tweezers if you have them. And the star of the show is the gloss Gilt spray. So this is acrylic spray. Make sure it's nice and shake that up to get all the mix that up really well. And then we can go ahead and get started. Oh, you'll need card bases and envelopes. Now, if you're new and you haven't seen this workshop before, you can purchase the supplies on my website, which is juliescott.closetomyheart.com, and I will send you the workshop guide for free. And it has all of the cutting and written instructions of how to put these together. So let's go ahead and start with card number 1. This was pretty simple and easy to put together. So this is card number 1 right here. This is the 'Tis the Season. And I don't think we need stickers for that one. Let's just grab a card base. And we are going to, let me get my pieces out. You'll just need this nice big piece of paper. Look how pretty that is. It's just so fun. So we're going to grab a splatter box. And when I say splatter box, I just mean a box, Close to My Heart shipping box. I just use the box that the products come in, and then when it gets dirty or I get a new order, I grab a new, or I throw away the old one. Problem with this spray is that it is paint, so sometimes it gets a little stuck. So, okay, I'm going to just take the top off of it and add some splatters. You can do as little or as much as you want, and you don't even really have to do it if you don't want to. It just adds just a little extra touch to your card. Okay, so we're going to set this aside to dry. And then let's grab the pieces that we need. Again, these are just chipboard and acrylic pieces. Super easy to put together. And we will need, I should have got a little box or something to put those in so they don't get everywhere. Okay, so we'll need the glitter ornament. So for me, it's easier to flip them over so I can actually see which ones I'm grabbing. And then we'll need the 'Tis the Season. Okay, and then we'll need these little white acrylic. There is a, oh, this is All is Bright. These nice thin lettering. So 'tis the season. And then this ornament has a topper. And I have a little, one of those little bursts above the eye. So just one of those little guys. Okay, so now we can go ahead and get started. Let's set this aside, make sure everything is in frame. And I'll just set that right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some adhesive to our card base. I am using the Mono Air permanent adhesive. I also like Close to My Heart's adhesive, so there's two options there. I'm going to just lay that right on top of that card base. And then I'm going to add these glitter pieces. So I'm going to just lay them down, kind of see how I want to lay them out. Oh, my lights. Can you tell they're flickering? I'm not sure why. Hopefully it's not too noticeable. Okay, so I like that. So I'm going to add, you can use the mono adhesive, you can use liquid glue, whichever you want to do. So these are they're kind of bigger pieces. So I'm just going to add some of that mono glue to the back of them. I'm going to put 'tis. And then the. And season. Then I'm going to add my ornament right there. And these little guys are really thin. So I'm going to use the liquid glue on them. I'm just going to add some these little dots kind of everywhere. I think you could use like the micro glue dots as well. Let's see if I have enough glue on there. Now on the glitter paper, sometimes it's hard, like it doesn't want to stick. So you're going to have to be careful when you set it down and set it aside to dry so it doesn't move. And I'm just going to add that right in the center. Isn't that cool? I love how all of these complements just stack on top of each other and work so well. Okay, and then let's do our 'tis. And our little burst on top of the eye. And then I'm going to add a glue right on top of that ornament and add the ornament topper. See, it slides, so you gotta be careful. Okay, then I'm going to take my black pen, and you can barely see it, but it kind of adds a little something to the card. I'm just going to double doodle a little string on top of that. Okay, so that is card number 1. And like I said, those are kind of sensitive, so I'm going to carefully set that aside to dry somewhere so it doesn't get... There we go. I'm just going to set it over there. All right, so card number 2 is All is Bright. This one right here. We're going to grab some of that fun red dot paper, a piece of scarlet, and then this piece of gray. Oh, there's my light. Let's see if it will stay. And we also need a gold star. So I'm going to, again, just grab that off of my sheet and a card base. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to need the liquid glue. So we're going to add this to our card base. You can use either side, whichever you prefer. Set that right in the center. And then our scarlet piece right in the center. And then our gray pattern. Right on top of that. And then we need All Is Bright. So it is this nice big chunky piece of acrylic. And then on our red chipboard, it's skinny. Oh, here's is all. So from my understanding, and I am sorry if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Close to My Heart creates these chipboard and acrylic shapes in-house. They have machines that cut them, like laser cutters. So it's something that they design and they can provide from our home office. Okay, there we go. All Is Bright. Okay, so we're going to add some liquid glue to the back of this. It's a nice big sentiment. And then I'm going to add some glue to the back of these. That's where those little tweezers probably will come in handy. I just grabbed them just in case. And you can just add that right in the center. And then the is. Again, all of these cards are going to need a minute to dry, like set aside to dry, just because of that acrylic. And bright. Add just some dots. And right there. Okay, and then we have our little star that I'm going to add right above the sentiment, right there. Okay, that is card number 2. Again, I'm going to set that aside to dry because I don't want those to move. Okay, so card number 3 is Oh What Fun. This one right here. This one has stickers and some chipboard. So this is, we have a toffee piece, a striped piece, scarlet, and then we have our black Oh What Fun chipboard, and then we'll have the sticker. But first I want to add some Gilt gloss spray or Gilt spray to this toffee piece. So I'm going to grab my splatter box again. Make sure that's all nice and shook up. And just take the top off and just tap it to get some of those dots. You can do as much or as little as you want. Okay, and that does need to set aside to dry. Isn't that cool? Can you see that kind of shiny now? Okay, so I'm going to grab a card base and we'll just get started on the rest of it. Okay, so I'm going to just add some adhesive right down on this side and carefully add my toffee piece to the right hand side. And then the stripe piece to the left hand side. And then my scarlet piece right down the center. Okay. And then I'm going to add Oh What Fun. And this is pretty big, so I'm just going to add some adhesive right to the back of it. And add that right there in the center. And then grab my stickers and add some little jingle bells right off the side of Oh What Fun. There we go. That is card number 3. I'm gonna set that one aside to dry. Probably have spray all over my fingers. All right, so let's move on to card number 4. Oh, this one's pretty. The poinsettia. This one right here. And those are just stickers. So let's grab our paper. So I have this one right here. I have the red dot, or you could do stripes, or you could flip it either way, and then a little piece of zip strip. So let's add those to our card base. Set that off to the side. I'm going to start with the bottom and then work my way up. I have the red and then the zip strip. And we call it a zip strip because it has the information on one side and then there's a pattern on the other. So you can you have the information you need when creating, but then you can also use the back side in your creation. Okay, so then add that piece of paper. Oh, that's just pretty like that. Like you could totally put a sentiment on there. Okay, so now we're going to build our little cluster. So you have this big poinsettia. I'm probably saying it completely wrong. And then these leaves. So I'm going to just kind of add them underneath like that. And here is the other large cluster of leaves. And that one will go over here. It's all sticky, but it's all good. And then the little guy is going to go right here in the center, kind of like that. Okay, so now I'm going to put that down and add some 3D foam to the back. I'm using thin 3D foam, and it comes in a roll just like this, or you can get dots. I love the roll because I can just get the size I need. And then there's a thicker one and a thinner one. So I can just lay those down across. And it tears really easy, or you can use your microtip scissors to cut it. Okay, so let's pull those up. All right. And I had to Google to kind of see how these, I guess the leaves are on underneath or below the flowers. So I had to Google that to see how those are in real life. Isn't that pretty? Super easy and simple to put together too. That one does not need to dry. Okay, so now let's move on to our 5th one, which is Happy Holidays. This one, we're going to need a little piece of toffee, and we're going to grab the Happy Holidays from the black chipboard, and it's really thin, so be careful pulling that off. So fun. I love how they just kind of lay on top of each other, or you can use them by themselves. A layer, I guess is probably a better word, but it's just so cool. Okay, just trying not to rip those, the holidays. And then I'm going to take the leaves. Which ones did I use? Let's use the small, well, I guess that's these two right here, these bigger ones, I think. Yeah. Yep, that's what it looks like. And then 3 of the red dots for our berries. Okay, and we're going to add some gloss spray. Okay, just again, we're going to take off the top and just add some dots. If you need a little bit more, you can dip it back in. Oh, there we go. Some nice big dots. You can see the white from our last month. Still in there. Still using the same box. Okay, let's set that aside for just a second and let's grab a card base. And Close to My Heart has this amazing package of, it's a value pack of cards and envelopes. I add one to my order every time just because I use these so much. And there's 50 in there, and they come with the card or the envelopes too, so it's a great deal. And they have the score line already in it, so makes it easy peasy. So I add this toffee to the center, and I'm just being careful because that is still a little wet. And then let's add our doodle line. I'm just using the black LePen. I feel like I need an accent when I say that, LePen. You know how I love my doodles. Just adds a little bit of something to frame that out. There we go. Okay, so let's add our holly in the corner. And I'm just going to add some glue on the back of that. And put that one down. And looks like, there we go. And I think I'll use some liquid glue for these guys. Add a dot. I'm not very good at clustering, but I try. And one more dot. Okay. Oh, we'll need our liquid glue for our happy holidays. So let's add the happy. Just going to squeeze a little bit of glue on there. Not too much. You don't want it to squish out too much. And put that right underneath those holly berries. And then holidays. I'm just kind of squeezing a little bit and just almost brushing it on. Just squeeze a little and then move the tip so it kind of smears it over the whole thing. Holidays. And, which I didn't realize on my original card, but there is a teeny tiny little dot above the eye. So let's get that and add it to this one. Teeny tiny, so teeny bit of glue. And put the little eye, or the dot on the eye. Okay, so that is card number 5. This one does need to dry, so I'm just going to scooch that off to the side. Okay, now card number 6 is Merry Christmas. This one, we will need the black ornament that looks like this, and this one like that, and then some acrylic shapes. There they are. I'm like, where did they go? We have the Merry and the Christmas, and we need 2 ornament toppers. There's that one, and this one. Okay, so the pieces that I'll need is some scarlet, and I had to use this plaid, so we're using it on this one. Okay, so here's our card base. I'm going to attach the scarlet. Oh, hold on. I want the dark side. So there's a light side and a dark side. I'm using the dark, putting that right in the center, and adding that one as well. Oh, the question I had for you guys is, how many Christmas cards do you send out every year? Mine changes depending on the year. But yeah, put in the comments how many Christmas cards you generally send out each Christmas or holiday season. Okay, let's add that ornament. And these cute little ornament toppers. Add some glue. It's so fun. Acrylic topper, and then our Merry Christmas. Add some dots. It's going to go right over the top of that ornament. And then Christmas. If you're not a card maker, you could totally use these in scrapbooking as well. We will be doing 2 layouts with the same collection here in just a little bit, so stay tuned for those. Okay, oh, I forgot my doodle lines. How could I forget the doodles? See, I look how, if you want to know the see the difference, so this has doodles, this doesn't. So you see how a doodle just adds a little bit of something around the edge of that? And that's why I love it so much. Okay, so let's just add a doodle line all the way around. With our black pen. And then we're going to add double doodles for the strings on our ornaments. And I want them to kind of be messy but fun. Okay, so this needs to dry as well. That is card number 6. We have one more. Here is our 25. And for this one, we need some pine cardstock, some black cardstock. I'm using the gray, or you could flip it over to use the plaid. And then we need that black frame that was on the outside of Oh What Fun. It's a really thin little guy. Try not to rip it. Okay, there we go. So we need the frame, and we need these leaves, and we need the glitter bow, and 25. So I have this one, but we're going to be using that later, and then the inside we're going to be using on this card. Not fun. Okay. Let's grab our card base. Also, let me know if you like traditional colors or if you like more of the bright, like pinks and blues for Christmas. Usually Close to My Heart has, well, we actually have that season greetings that I showed you earlier that has kind of the pinks and stuff. But we always tend to have a traditional paper packet and then a fun bright color paper packet. But put in the comments which one you prefer for your holiday crafting. Okay, and then we're going to do the gray or the plaid, whichever you decide. And then we're going to add this frame, and I'm using just some of that liquid glue again around the edge. Add some little dots. Kind of set it towards the top center so we have room for the leaves on the bottom. We're going to add those leaves. Did you enjoy the non-stamping? Let me know. I like to do both, so I try to, but this one had so many great compliments and shapes and stuff that we could totally pull it off without stamping. All right, and then we're going to add our 25. Right there in the center. All right, so that is card number 7. Again, that one needs to set aside to dry. I hope you enjoyed these cards. They were pretty quick and easy to put together, all those fun little elements of the chipboard and stickers and all the good things. Again, if you didn't order your supplies until there's still time. Sorry, there's still time to order supplies. I know some of you haven't started thinking about Christmas yet. I just started Christmas shopping this week, which is scary, but it will get done. You can find the supplies on my website, juliescott.closetomyheart.com, and when you purchase or place an order on my website, I will send you the workshop guide with all the dimensions and instructions and pictures on how to put these together. And of course, you'll have this video. So come back in just a little bit and we will start working on our first layout.